place these two political parties that has raised this country to the bottom. Our knowledge of Ahmadiyya is not something that probably we were taught. We lived it. I have lived it all my life in the Upper West region, and even in Accra. I do everything with the fraternity except to go and do the Allahu Akbar. I fast with them. I do everything. Those who can attest know that I participate. So much so that my first wife is an Ahmadi. And so this is my family. And saying that this is my family is not a mean thing. But most importantly, that the sense of communism that exists between the people in Ahmadiyya is unmatched. They love for each other, and I don't see that I come across hatred among them. Probably the reason for which your motto is love for all, hatred for none. But we are a political party who are proud of our antecedents. Our antecedents of Liman, Igala, and Kwame Nkrumah. We don't run away from that because they contributed genuinely to building a nation and not building a tribe. They contributed to ensuring that this nation belongs to all, not to a few. The legacy of Kwame Nkrumah and his enormous contribution to our nation and our continent can never be subsumed. President Liman, like Nkrumah, also contributed enormously to bringing the disadvantaged in society to prominence. Unfortunately for the two of them, they were village boys. They grew up from village life. They went through the travails of life. They understood what it is to have compassion for humanity, which is the bedrock of Ahmadiyya. And so Kwame Nkrumah dedicated his all. Even his apparels, it was embroidered, the Republic of Ghana's property. President Liman, as you all know, when he was deposed, went back to his single house that he was having before he became president at Teshi, and died still a pauper. That is where his wife still lives, up to date. Why are we in this political race? I come from a very poor and terrible background, as Amir will attest. My father was a watchman, taking care of the Wa, now Municipal Hospital. We went through tough times. But because it was not for me, but the making of God, from those difficulties, today I'm rubbing shoulders with people who lived all their life in silver cups to become the next president of Ghana. Now, because of those harsh difficulties, we have been thinking about Ghana. And my elder brother Patrick Apoya is there. We don't sleep. So one of the policies that we think about is that I have come here and I'm compelled to speak English. When Amir was speaking, deliberate as he has always been, he will put two words and say which one is which. Then we will be jumbling to define which one is a better word for him to use. But English language is not our language. Globally, any country that has developed, there is a nexus between the language they speak and their level of development. If you go to the Arab world, they don't speak somebody's language. If you go to Japan, they speak their language. Go to China, go to Germany, go to Italy, go to France, go to Korea, everywhere, and tell me they inculcate their language, and their language is their way of development. For us, we have decided that we are English people, but of course in dark skins. We cannot speak and understand their language. So permit me, if I want to study engineering, it means I must first study English before I can now become proficient in engineering. I cannot be at the same level. To study law, as my brother is, you must first study English, become proficient in English before you can become a proficient lawyer. And so one of the things that I have been, and I tell this to my party people, is that Ghana must identify one of its languages. I come from the Upper West region, but Wali, Dagari, and Sisali is not a prominent national language. And so we have chosen that we will take Twi and Hausa. Twi as our first language and Hausa as our second language. It will become our languages of instructions and our languages that we use throughout. And everyone can understand a bit of it. That way, other languages can now contribute into building the literature that will become what we want. So that we too can use our language to become dexterous in whatever we want to do. The second policy that I want to leave with you, knowing very well that when you get a chance to speak to the Ummah, is this, that several, or from time, we have been told that Ghana used to be called Gold Coast. I am young, but from Colonel to all of you, I don't know whether any one of you have ever seen gold proceeds coming by way of your account or as a contribution to you. We have cocoa, we have timber, we now have oil, we have salt, and now lithium. How is it that the people don't benefit? And yet government is supposed to be for the people. So government takes ownership of our natural wealth. The money is gotten, then we give it to some imaginary thing called government, and a few people are there, and they are taking care of our wealth. We say no. Every Ghanaian will be born into wealth and not debt. By this, what we mean is that